Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to share with you why I believe that time travel is real. I kid you not, time travel exists. I'm going to share with you a wonderful QHHT session snippet today. I had a client who went into a past life where he had a life in Lemuria and he was a healer. But not only that, I'm going to share with you how you can travel there at any time and receive healing as well. So let's get started. All right, so this client, I'm going to call him Mark. Mark went into a past life in Lemuria. He came down into the ocean and he, was whatever, a water type being that could go in and out on land. But the fascinating thing was that he saw, like, up on the mountaintop, this crystal temple. And he said, he was very familiar with it. It was a crystal temple, and it's where they performed all sorts of healing. He was a healer in that lifetime. He used sound and vibrational therapy, as he called it, to help heal people. He used the sound of instruments, the sound of his voice, really, just sound in general, because I know that you guys know what sound healing is, and it really does work. Very quickly, I'll tell you, sound healing works by something called resonance. And what it does is, so let's say, you have a crystal singing bowl or a tuning fork or whatever, and it's vibrating at a certain frequency. And if your body is vibrating below that frequency, being in the presence of that sound vibration, the body, by something called resonance, brings itself up to match that frequency. It's really that simple. We make it so much harder than it really is. So that can be, again, sound vibration of voice healing, singing bowls, tuning forks, whatever it is, but it's like a natural phenomenon that the body rises up. I know one time, actually kind of recently, I normally love crystal singing bowls and all of that stuff, but there was, I think I had on, like a whatever it was, 432 frequency music or whatever, and I couldn't handle it. It was like making me uncomfortable, and that's the best time for you to listen to it, because it means that you're out of sync with it. So listening to it when it's uncomfortable, that's kind of when like, oh, I need to, rise up to match this vibration. And so that's one of the ways that you can, use sound to raise your vibration. Very simple tip. But anyway, so my client Mark, he had, like I said, he was a healer in this life, and he would go into the temple and perform healing on people and he even said just them being around him would also help to heal. But he said that in this crystal temple, beings from all over their planet, all over other planets and things, would come to receive healing in these beautiful temples. And then I forget even how it came up, but I asked, can people go there now for healing? And he said yes. He did say that you would need to get permission from, like, the embassy, I think it was called. But yes, that you can travel there at any time in your mind and receive healing. The key is that you have to find it. And that's really the key with any of this stuff. Traveling anywhere in your mind, you can do it. It's just about finding it. So that's why I say, like, time travel is real, because if you think about it, and there is no such thing as time. Time is like a man-made construction, and Earth is like the only planet that moves through time and space in this way. Everything is happening right now. That means everything that's ever happened before, everything that's ever going to happen, it is all happening right now. And you can go there. So that means that, anybody in the past, you can travel and you can have a conversation with them. That's why, have you ever heard them talk about, I forget, whatever it is, when you're like trying to do things or have, grow or whatever, that you should always have like a board room, and you can invite people from any time period, anywhere, invite them into your boardroom. And they will give you advice, because everything is always happening right now. So I know that might be like a weird topic to kind of, get your mind around, but it's true. And so if now is the only moment, that means that all of these things are still existing. So we can travel there. And one of the best ways that I have found to kind of get me to these weird places that I don't know whether that's the Akashic Records or just a temple in Lemuria or even my own sacred sanctuary space, I ask my spirit guides to guide me. And so you can do that at any time. You just have to set the intention, before you meditate or whatnot. Just get yourself nice and quiet everything down, and ask your guides or angels to show you where to go, and then trust that they will and follow them there. Another thing that you can do is call in the Lemurian beings. Again, these beings, these people, energies, whatever, like, they're here to help us, and they want to help us. We just have to ask. So again, the next time you're quieting your mind, just call them in. Call in. You can call, and you don't have to just call in Lemurians. You can call in angels. You can call in Jesus. You could call in God. You could call in whoever. It doesn't matter. You could call in any of them, and they will be there for you. I will say, so one time I I was looking for some healing for, I don't even remember what it was, but I started to call in Jesus. And I had never done that before. That was not something that I did, was like call in angels or anything. But in my more recent practices, I have started to do that. And so maybe for like 2 mornings. So I take like meditative time in the morning. Right after I wake up, when I'm still kind of in that theta state, I take time and I kind of talk to myself and journey and talk to my guides and things. And so for maybe 2 mornings, I had called in Jesus and just asked him, again, I don't remember what it was for healing, for understanding, whatever it was. And I think it was on the 2nd morning. It may have been the 3rd, but I'm pretty sure it was like on the morning of the 2nd day that I called him in. My doorbell rang. And I live, pretty much out like in the country. And these 2 or 3 women came to the door, and they just handed me this pamphlet, and it was an invitation to some kind of celebration for Jesus. And that was it. They barely said 2 words to me. It was like they handed me this pamphlet with Jesus on it, and they walked away. And I was blown away because, like I said, we don't get solicitors of religion or whatever at my house. And it really, I was like, wow, 2 or 3 mornings of talking to Jesus, and he's literally like at my front door. It was awesome. It was very cool. But it was confirmation for me. Confirmation that they're there and they're listening and they're helping. So again, call in whoever it is that you feel connected to. Just give it a shot. See what happens. You don't have to take my word for it. Do it and see what you get. See, what kind of signs and synchronicities pop up for you. But another thing, that you can do when looking for this healing space or this Lemurian temple is just create a doorway. And again, it's about setting your intention and knowing that what you set your intention for is happening. So believing that when you say, I'm creating a door to Lemuria, to this healing place, that when you open that door, that's what's going to be on the other side. And it's all about believing it. Setting your intention, believing it, asking for help. It also helps to ask for help. But again, you can go anywhere. You can talk to anyone. You can go anywhere. You could even go back to your own life. That's a huge part of it, is like giving yourself the support that you need in the time that you need it. So, you know, a lot of us talk about healing our inner child or younger self or whatever. There is nothing stopping you from quieting your mind, you know, just being in a quiet space and just pulling up a memory, going back to that time, giving yourself that love, that support that you feel like maybe you needed. And if you give it to yourself, then it ripples out and changes how you feel now. It's so cool. It's really so interesting. Time and space is really such a cool and awesome topic to think about, but it really does change and ripple out because that moment is happening. It's just the way we're moving through it that it feels like it's in the past, but in reality, it's still happening right now. So, you know, check out this video right here. I created a guided meditation for you to create your own personal healing sanctuary. You go on a journey with your spirit guides and they take you to this beautiful, wherever that is for you, healing space. And so please, if you feel like someone needs to hear this message today or would benefit from it, please feel free to share it with them. Don't forget to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and I'll send you my free ebook, A Beginner's Guide to Self-Hypnosis, so you can really start to understand, you know, what that looks like to go within, access your subconscious, and really begin to create the life that you want to live. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the other side.